Everybody, before we get into this late night update, I want to go over a quick synopsis of why I'm here right now and why I decided it was important to come on tonight. First, with Bitcoin, I know it had a spike up to about 27,200, and right now it's at right around the 27,000 level. But I'm going to show you on the formation in this descending triangle, and I've properly lined it up to where this is a move that hasn't broken out of anything, and a lot of people are getting excited right now, but I want us to stay emotion free. We're going to let the pattern dictate our assumptions that we're going to make and the perception we create in our mind visually of the formation ahead of us. We're not just going to dictate it based on, it had this quick spike, because we are in a descending triangle. We haven't broken out of it. And with XRP, we still haven't held the 494 level. This still looks like we could be coming down here with this death cross in the 4 hourly that has it's already shown itself. It's confirmed itself. Now we need to see if it validates itself to drop us down to the 44-cent mark at the bottom of the broadening wedge, which is also the inverted head and shoulders. So we're going to get into all of that and more. It'll be better when I show you the visual representation behind me, but I like to talk it out too in the beginning. Make sure though we're taking the positive approach. We're not playing the victim. We do our due diligence and we gain a formal understanding of the formation in front of us, and that will allow us to stay out ahead. Because if we understand the formation, the pattern that it's in, and then what happens if we were to break down out of this broadening wedge and or break up, and also the nearest areas that can confirm a breakdown or a breakout, this will allow us to stay out ahead. It sounds like a lot, but really when I break it down in the chart, I promise you it'll make a lot of sense. Good evening, 10:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, June 19th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So as we can see with Bitcoin, as I mentioned beforehand, this is the pattern formation of Bitcoin in this descending triangle. And we can see very clearly that this pattern formation has all but, it's all but revealed itself. I mean, it's very clear right now. Let me pull out my arrow real quick just so it's easier for me to point to. So basically what's going on here, you have resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, and right now we're up at resistance 4. We had support 1, little bit of a move, hit it again twice, came all the way around, support 3, support 4, fell under, got supported again for the 4th time, and now we're pushing back up to the top of the descending triangle. So right now it's a boom, 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 boom. It's very volatile swings here, but it's getting smaller. So unlike the broadening wedge, it becomes smaller and less volatile moves until we have the massive breakout or breakdown. So with the broadening wedge, it's expanding. XRP's in a broadening wedge pattern. Bitcoin's in a descending triangle. So a little bit different with the volatility movements. Bitcoin had its biggest volatility spikes up here. XRP's having it right now as it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we'll get to that with XRP after. But Bitcoin right now, until we break over the top of the broadening wedge up here at 27,000, it's about 27,200. And if we have to hold that, if we don't hold 27,200 on the breakout, well, then this pattern has no chance and it's got to go back down to the bottom of the wedge. So I felt it, very, very important to come on here right now because I see, my feed started getting filled up with a lot of people going nuts because Bitcoin broke 27,000. We've had a golden cross in the 2 hour, but we're just not understanding semantics right now. Even if we break out of this descending triangle, we still have the broken channel up here. So I'm not going to get excited until we get on top of the psychological level. But furthermore, I won't even begin to start thinking Bitcoin has something good happening until we get on and hold 27,200. Right now, you can see it in the 2 hour. You can see it in the 30-minute. This is where the 30-minute would need to start holding here because if it starts giving way, this is a very clear wick here, a wick here, which is starting to, wind down here a little bit. So if we break the 20-day, this could be the start of a pattern reversal. This is also the top. If you look at the drop, you could say this is a short-term cup and handle completed from up here too when it dropped at 27,397, came down to 24,800 area, and now swung all the way back up to this range. So we could say that as well. You can see we hit the downtrending resistance on the descending triangle up here on May 29th. And now again, we're hitting it here. The volume looks like trash though. That's the biggest problem here is the volume profile. If we're looking for a huge breakout, we're not being supported with volume right now. On the 4 hourly, if we look at the pattern formation, we do have a bullish cross here. We're on top of the 200-day with Bitcoin, so we need a volatile spike of volume to break out of here. If we break out of here, it's something. But if you look at the daily time frame, Bitcoin had a bearish cross of the 20, crossing the 50, the 100. Now it's trying to reverse itself. So if Bitcoin wants to make a big volatile move, this isn't uncommon for a fake out here as we moved up to try to successfully look like in the shorter time frames that we're having a reversal. Now this can get caught dead in its tracks here and get shot right back down to 25,194, if not further, if we get rejected up here at 27,200. Just like it looked like a massive breakout was about to happen here. We ended up breaking right back down doing this. And now again, this looks like a substance put together here that looks like a big trap. So be aware of a possible bull trap developing here. So we'll know if that ends up being able to push out. Make sure it holds 27,200, and then you know it's got to run up here to the broken channel at 28,280, about 28,300. So it'd give you run for an 1,100 point push on Bitcoin if it were to break and hold that 27,200 area. That's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. And if you pull it out, you can see the descending triangle. It is on a bull flag, as I've been saying with Bitcoin. It looks like a weird bull flaggy. But if it pulls down, you can see the head formation. But we still got to acknowledge that this is on a bull flag till it's not. Right now, it's even only got the resistance on the top of this breakout point. Made a push up, and now it's where it first had the breakdown. Came up, now it's retesting that area. So this is exactly standard operating procedure if there's going to be a move up for Bitcoin. That's why I keep saying until this level breaks down, I still think Bitcoin can go way up. I still think Bitcoin has a chance to get to 32 to 38,000, but we would have to break up out of this level. It still feels like to me 32,800 would be a precise move here if we were to hold this descending triangle and have a breakout. The only thing I'm cautioning everybody with is it still seems a little premature to me. It seems like Bitcoin, if it was really going to go through all this, it should bounce off of the 24,400 to make that volatile swing with liquidity if it wants to do that. It's not uncommon. It's already had a nice volatile swing down. It's not uncommon to come up and then do it here. But if it wants to satisfy the daily, it would almost make more sense for Bitcoin to come down to the gap down here and then come up. But it doesn't have to. I'd be looking for 24,400. I'd be more comfortable at 21,000 area with the CME gap. But, you know, with manipulation, the moment we break this and hold it, especially here, 27,200, that could be the start of something. So let's pay very close attention. I know I gave you a lot of information there, but it's necessary. With XRP, unlike Bitcoin being in a descending triangle, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and narrower and narrower, you know, like narrower with these moves, as this formation's narrowing instead of broadening in this one. So Bitcoin's narrowing, XRP's broadening in the wedge. And if we bring it down to smaller time frames, just so it's a little bit easier to see the formation, we have down here is the 46 cent mark where we hit the bottom on XRP. In this formation, what's crucial right now is in the 4 hourly, we've had a death cross. The reason why, if we look in the daily, we came up to where we did today and how we were able to predict this move before it happened is because we had to come get a rejection if we're going to break down on the 20-day and the daily time frame, because that's a bigger time frame. We've already had the death cross in the 4 hourly, so now it's XRP's formation, the price action's job to give us the next piece of intel. And right now, a rejection on the 20-day would verify the death cross in the 4 hourly and help us push through and finally lose the 20-day and get a rejection. Right now, we're looking to stay under 494 if you're looking for this rejection. But ultimately, we know we could still come up a little bit higher, even if it wanted to, and keep moving around back and forth. So what looks like is going to happen, because we have no volume, it's very low volume. And I don't want to keep going over it, but 2.71, 4.2 on that little push up. The big candle right here, we had 2.41 or 5 million, 5.45. But when you look at the drop candles, 11.6, 13.7. I mean, we're 2 and 3 times less on the push up than the breakdown, just in the recent breakdown. So that tells me there's not a lot of buyers here. But we do due diligence. We let the pattern form as it will, not as we want it to. So right now we're looking for this rejection here at the 494 level. And if we get that rejection like we've had multiple times here already, as we're sitting at the 492 right now, that would bring us down, in my opinion. If we lose the 494, then you have to start breaking this down. Re-break the 482 and the 477. I don't think 46 cents is just setting there for another hit. I think it's really coming down for a confirmation if we're going to have a breakdown or a breakout. I think XRP needs to come down and retest that inverted head and shoulders part of the pattern and show some strength there where the bottom of the broadening wedges and the inverted head and shoulders pattern lines up. I think that would be in our best interest to come down there and show some support. Right now, we need to invalidate this death cross, and the only way to do it is to get back on top of that 537 and comfortably run out of here. We could get up to the 508 and hold, but it would quickly just fold if we can't get any higher. So that's what I'm looking at, and pay very close attention. If we do break down out of the broadening wedge and lose the inverted head and shoulder, the technical target's 36 cents at the 2021 uptrend. Conversely, if we break out and up out of the broadening wedge, and let's just say, for example, 46 cents is the new support. If we break up and out of the broadening wedge, and the new support could end up being 44 cents as well, that could be a hit where it brings us out if we don't break down. It would be a technical target if you break the broadening wedge at 585 and break out and over. 65 cents is the technical target up. And then if you break out of there, we speculate back up to 80 cents. And then even higher MI senior comment. That's how you get to the $1.20. But you can't overlook the true pattern formation at 80 cents. And I'll get into that deeper at another time. But I talked about it. If you're interested in seeing a deeper breakdown of this pattern formation, watch the live that's already uploaded. And I went through this step by step by step. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. If you want to show some support for my work or show appreciation for my work, look in the video description below and or pinned comments. I have a mission statement, how to join Tom's Army, and the value of you joining and the reasons why. And then if you're looking for an exchange to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, Uphold's our last stand, and unfortunately, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But on Uphold, they still support us in the USA. BITGET and or MEXC, if you have the opportunity or you are able to still trade that way. No spot fees on the buy and sell. You can futures trade on both platforms up to 250x. Long you're shorting, I don't advise it, but it is there. But remember, keep that emotion in check. Positive mind. We're not the victim here. We have the information. We're far from the victim. We're getting it out here to everybody. So we're going to play the winner's mindset. If you play the winner's mindset and the inclusive mindset, it's the law of attraction. We're going to attract good things, not negativity. Make sure you pay attention and possibly watch this twice.